are a ton of them now. That it's not just your, so the CRISPR systems, have you heard of these? Right, so the CRISPRs can be a way that the bacteria could adapt to that. In those cases, they seem to be, my guess is that the CRISPRs will be mostly about trapping temperate phage and keeping them to do what you want them to do, as opposed to stopping a new phage infection. That's my guess right now. Okay? Does that answer your question? Okay. Remember also, a lot of this is speculation, right? Because we just don't know. This is all new, or relatively, yes?
Have you looked at RNA viruses? Because here you are only on DNA viruses.
Yeah.
So
we do look at RNA viruses. We're just not very good at it. So the story with RNA viruses, for the most part, is that in complicated systems, we've never come up with a great way of finding them. In other systems, if they're robust ones, like the plant viruses, they're easy. We find them all the time. The phages that are RNA and the human RNA viruses, for the most part, we don't find them. The only place where we get, where it seems to work really good are oropharyngeal swabs. There we find RNA virus, human RNA viruses all the time. That's really easy. Sputum, we can't get them. We can actually add them to the sputum and not recover them using our methods right now. Right?
Regarding the viruses that you found, especially the non-viruses, did you test longitudinal samples to know whether or not they were only transient or?
Yeah, so the Anella viruses are not transient. They're there all the time. In fact, there's a number of studies now that have the antibodies are not neutralizing, right? They've looked at the antibodies that we have to them. And so they seem to be there for long periods of time. People originally wanted them to be an agent of some disease, right? The TTP was going to be an agent of disease. It doesn't seem to be. It just seems to be something that we're normally carrying. Other viruses, I assume, are transient. They're just jumping from. And you have a low scale viremia, you don't know it, and you transmit it on, and that's it. Nobody ever actually really knows that you have it.
And related to other viruses from other organs?
Yeah, so that we don't know. So honestly, there's only in TTP do we know that they're all over the place. The herpes viruses, well, yeah, so yes, there's a herpes virus that we have that is in corals that's very similar to one that's in humans, okay? At least at the genome level. The structure, the sequence itself isn't anywhere similar, but they're derived from each other. That part we can see. But that's about it. No, we don't have good data.
And as for the cowpox, did these people were vaccinated?
For what?
The cowpox.
Oh, no. This is just, it's just sitting there. It's just some weird pox virus that we have. Yeah, and
it's
not
coming by vaccine. It's not.
No, it's not a vaccine. It's nothing like any.
Nothing known.
Yeah. So there's a cool pox virus, and it's ancestral, and it must be. So we've seen it twice now. So in 2 people. So it's there. I don't know what else to say about it, other than it's obviously a pox virus. Yeah. And it's this crystal. It's extremely derived, though. It's very, here's the pox viruses we usually think about, and then that's true. I didn't tell you that with the HPV. Some of the HPV things are like whole new classes of HPV out there. So you look at the tree of HPV, and there's this whole other group of them sitting out there that seem to be common. Yeah, that's why the other ways of looking for them don't work.
And do you know if these viruses that you found in the blood can be transmitted?
No idea. We've never done any of that. Yeah, we do know that you don't want to use, if you do these studies, don't use the blood from blood banks because they're contaminated with phage. So they get somehow when they're doing the storing the blood, they get there's some bacteria that get in there, and they produce phage. So if you look at the bags of blood, those actually often have phage in them. So you have to be careful when you're working with them. For the most part, we just clone phage in the beginning. Yeah. I mean, you can use them, but just be cautious there. Yeah. Anything else?
Oh, thank you very much.